fire breaks out at an old restaurant here in the East Village. We have the very latest this morning.
How the county is aiming to crack down on ghost guns this morning.
The retail and tourism industry, they were both heavily impacted.
The new push today to help businesses at the border.
Can home remedies actually help cure colds? Our Verify team talks to health experts.
If you do it like step by step and has a journey, no, it's not hard.
How this local salon is helping make a difference for the environment. You're up with News 8. We begin with breaking news right now. An investigation is currently underway into a fire near the old Salvation Army building in the East Village.
The vacant building was home to an old restaurant and cafe, and News 8's Chris Groh is live near 12th and Broadway now with an update for us. Crew's still out there, Chris?
Yeah, crews are still out here. Really trying to figure out exactly what may have caused this fire. We know that a fire investigator is on scene, and there is still a fire engine that is here just in case any more hot spots begin to flare up. They are paying pretty close attention here to the smoke just above the building, trying to see if it may indeed flare up at any point. But again, take a look at this video. I mean, this is insane just how much fire really broke out in a building that was empty. This is a building that was closed down. This is a restaurant and cafe that has not been open in what appears to be for some months right now. When you check in on Yelp and some of those review sites, this does appear to be a restaurant that closed during the pandemic. But again, this fire really intense. Those flames breaking up, smokes being seen from all over downtown. And again, this is a situation where they needed multiple firefighters to help put this out. More than 80 were told, according to the battalion chief. So back out here live again, they are making sure that nothing else happens here. And we are trying to get word on what may have led to this fire. They are obviously trying to look into an investigation here now into what may have caused it. But the good news is no reported injuries. Eric and Stella.
All right, Chris, thanks for that news this morning. A man is in custody accused of leading police on a chase in a stolen tow truck. Officers say the man jumped into the tow truck in Pacific Beach just before 8 o'clock last night. Then he tried to get away. The chase did end at Kettner and Broadway in Little Italy, where police took him into custody.
And this morning, a mother and her 9-year-old daughter are in the hospital after their car flew off a cliff in Ocean Beach.
Yeah, this happened just before 7:30 last night on Orchard Avenue. This is just north of Sunset Cliffs. Police say the woman was driving at around 60 miles per hour when her brakes failed, catapulting the car off the cliff. Rescue crews pulled both of them out of the car. The daughter had a cut on her head and was unconscious. The mother was not hurt. And today, the County Board of Supervisors could ban unregistered guns, or so-called ghost guns, in San Diego County. This comes nearly a month after San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria banned ghost guns in the city in an effort to curb gun violence. Today, the board will vote on a ghost gun ordinance. The proposal also calls for safe firearms storage and community-based gun reduction programs. Critics of the ban say this ordinance does not address the root of gun violence. And this morning, there is a push to help businesses impacted by the border closure ahead of next month's opening. Today, County Supervisor Nora Vargas will ask the board to address the disproportionate impact families and businesses faced during the pandemic. That could include the creation of emergency economic zones where grants and incentives are put into place to help spur business activity. Supervisor Vargas says it isn't just businesses hurting, but workers as well.
From not being able to work because of the retail and tourism industry, they were both heavily impacted, to not being able to see family members for over a year and a half.
According to the San Ysidro Chamber of Commerce, 280 border businesses closed permanently during the pandemic. Meantime, starting November 8th, non-essential travel will be allowed at the border with proof of vaccination. However, this could pose a problem because vaccines not approved in the U.S. have been given out in Mexico.
You have to have proof of vaccination, that you've been vaccinated, but they're not saying that we won't accept certain types of vaccine.
So the CDC considers a person fully vaccinated if they received any of the 3 vaccines available in the U.S. or the AstraZeneca, Sinopharm, or Sinovac vaccines.
Well, the FDA is reportedly close to approving COVID boosters for Moderna and Johnson & Johnson. The agency could also allow vaccine mixing when it comes to booster shots. Laura Podesta has the latest.
The FDA is reportedly set to allow a mix and match approach for COVID booster shots. According to the New York Times, the agency could announce its decision Wednesday, when it's expected to authorize the Moderna and Johnson & Johnson boosters.
Run, not walk, and get that booster vaccination.
Dr. William Schaffner is an infectious disease specialist at Vanderbilt University Medical Center.
The vaccines continue to be absolutely fundamental to controlling this virus. Yes, they're not perfect. Not much in life is, but boy, these vaccines continue to be excellent.
77% of the eligible population 12 and over have received at least one dose. A recent CBS News poll found 35% of parents won't get their children vaccinated when it becomes available. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
Well, some parents are pushing back against a statewide mandate requiring students to be vaccinated against COVID-19 as soon as they're eligible and the FDA gives full approval. Many families across California kept their kids home from school and held rallies yesterday. This is video of rallies in Sacramento, Los Angeles, and Balboa Park. These families say they want vaccines to be a choice.
America isn't one size fits all. It never has been. So when you say this is needed for everyone to go to school, this doesn't feel right.
San Diego Unified reported unexcused absences increased about 1.5% from this time last week. Powell Unified says that number of elementary students absent more than tripled from last Monday. We're also hearing from a parent who supports mask and vaccine mandates for kids.
Having mask mandates and the safety mitigation factors that the district has implemented has really made my family feel safe about sending my kids to school.
In a statement, the governor's office said in part, quote, "This is about protecting our children and school staff and keeping them safely in the classroom. Vaccines work, and this is how we end the pandemic," end quote. Governor Gavin Newsom has said the mandate is expected to apply to grades 7 through 12, either this January or July, depending when the FDA grants full authorization for the vaccines.
This morning, former Secretary of State Colin Powell is being remembered as a military and diplomatic trailblazer. Flags will be flown at half-staff for the rest of the week in his honor. Powell was fully vaccinated but died of complications from COVID. That's because he was being treated for a blood cancer called multiple myeloma, which lowers the body's immunity. A doctor at Sharp Chula Vista Medical Center tells us that Powell's age, 84, also likely played a factor.
The older someone is, the more comorbidities, the more susceptible they are. And so they will still benefit from the vaccine, but they'll also greatly benefit from those around them also being vaccinated.
Secretary Powell's family says he had been scheduled to get his booster shot last week, but unfortunately became sick before he was able to do so.
Chilly start to the morning. As you head out there, I saw even a little bit of frost on the ground.
You saw frost. Woo, it's going to be a first frost for some neighborhoods. Yeah, depending on where you live and kind of the terrain, some areas just get cold enough near that freezing point where you'll see that frost forming right along the surface. So this is an east-facing camera. You see that early glow. Our sunrise time will be still quite a ways from now, 6:56 in the morning, sunset 6:11, and we're all going to get a chance to see that sunrise because we have clear skies. You see from Mount Soledad all the way to downtown. There's Tijuana as well, so pretty clear conditions to start, and that's part of the reason why it's so cold out there. 53 for downtown San Diego, but a lot of other communities, yeah, you're waking up to the 40s, low 40s for Escondido, Poway, now 33 degrees for Ramona, so you're getting closer and closer to that freezing mark. I have a feeling there's a lot of frost that has been forming there. 42 in Alpine, 45 in Jamul, 48 in El Cajon, and Chula Vista, you're waking up to 50 degrees. So a significant drop in temperatures. You see this 24-hour temperature change, 10 to 20 degrees cooler right now because of the clear skies. Yesterday morning, we woke up to the clouds. That kind of kept the warmer air in place. And then by the afternoon, we did not warm up very much. So there's just an overall chill in the air that has stuck around. So there is going to be a warm up, a very, very minor one. You see this big, or I guess I should say small area of high pressure right over us there. It's a weak ridge. So it's basically not allowing any of these lows to enter and move further south. But, you know, there are a couple systems to the north. But overall for us, we will be under that ridging. So that means temperatures today will be a little bit warmer than yesterday by a few degrees. So it may not be that noticeable, but we will see more of the sunshine. So that always just feels better. 68 degrees in Miramar, 68 in Escondido today. So you see a lot of mid to upper 60s, where yesterday we hung around the low 60s. 64 in Julian, 55 in Palomar, and then 80 degrees for Borrego Springs. Let's get you a check of your traffic now and show you what's going on out on those roads. For now, you know, the wider picture here of San Diego shows pretty smooth sailing for places like Escondido, Oceanside, down into Del Mar and Encinitas. No major incidents. Fallbrook, you look to be fine. Just that minor slowing that we typically see in the morning hours right there in Coronado just before the base. And then beyond that, there's this crash that they've been dealing with for a little bit now. This is on the 15 and the 8, right where it all comes together. But you don't see any yellow or orange around it, which indicates that there's no major issues or slowdowns because of it. And then taking you out further east to Ramona, 67, there's a crash right after Dye Road.